Alright, Noah here, and now that you've programmed the player character's movement with Liam, it's going to be time for us to animate him. In other words, we'll create an idle animation for when he's standing still, and a run animation for when he's moving left and right. But before doing that, I wanted to show you some cool things you can do in the game view. So let's hit the play button and move the character around a bit. And let's say you aren't happy with his speed. Well, instead of quitting the game, typing out a new value and hitting play again, you can simply type out a new speed value in the inspector straight away, and that change will automatically be applied to the character. And this is great to quickly playtest and get a feeling for what works and doesn't. Note that anything can be changed while playing the game. You can scale up the character, add new objects to the scene, change colors and so on. However, note that when you stop playing, all those changes will disappear. So make sure to not take hours and hours creating levels with the play button active, because as soon as you stop playing, all that hard work will be gone. I recommend you just use this Unity feature to make small changes like the speed value of a character, and then simply copy the value that worked when the game is no longer playing. An easy way to do so is by copying the component values when in game modes, and then pasting those values when you stopped playing. With that said, let's begin animating game characters. We're going to be using Unity's animation window, which you can find under Window, Animation, Animation. I usually dock this animation window at the bottom like this. I'm going to now select the player game object, and you'll see that I can now create a new animation. So I'll press that button and Unity will prompt us to save our animation somewhere in our project. So I'll make a new folder alongside the sprites, scenes and scripts folders called animations. And inside that I'll make another folder called player, which will store all of the player animations. And I'll call this first animation idle. Again, this is for when the player isn't moving. So you'll see this timeline, which looks pretty simple with only a few buttons up here. One golden rule to remember is to not animate the player game object, only animate the objects inside it. Because if we animate the actual player object, that might interfere with the scripts that are attached to it. For example, the script could be asking the player to move at a position of 10 along the x-axis, whereas the animation is getting the player moving at -5 in the x. And so at that point, glitchy movement will pop up. So to start animating, you need to click this red record button. If you don't, anything you move won't be counted as part of the animation. Once the record button activated though, anything inside of the player object that is manipulated will be part of the animation. So I'm going to left click on the timeline and drag to move this little white line around. And I'll move it to about 30 milliseconds. And then I'll select the head and rotate it. And you'll see these small diamond shapes appear. These are keyframes and store information about where the head was at this point in the animation and where it is at this point. So I'll press play, and indeed you'll see that I've animated the head. I'll now select the body and move it up at 30 milliseconds as well. And there we go, I've animated the body. I can of course move these keyframes around a bit to speed up or slow down my animation. I can do so by left clicking on the topmost diamond shape to select all keyframes at that time, and then holding down the left mouse button I can drag those around the timeline. If I drag them to the left, it will speed up the animation, and if I do so to the right, it will slow it down. Note that you can zoom in and out of your timeline by scrolling the middle mouse button. And of course you can move individual keyframes by selecting them and moving just one at a time instead of the whole bunch. You can also delete keyframes by selecting them and hitting the delete key on your keyboard. And remember, always have the record button activated when animating, or your changes won't be saved. And of course remember to turn that record button off when you've finished animating, so you don't accidentally animate stuff you don't want. So yeah, animating is as simple as that in Unity. You can animate pretty much anything. You can rotate, move or scale different body parts, but you can also animate components, for example the color of an object. So I'll select the head again, and let's say that at 20 milliseconds I want the head to take on a blue tint. Well, I can do so by changing the sprite render's color to blue. For now though, you can see that the animation snaps back in a weird way when it reaches the end. To avoid this, we can get the animation looping. So select all the first keyframes, Hit Ctrl C to copy them, and then paste those further down the timeline. This way the animation will start and finish with the character in the exact same condition, and as a result the animation will loop and look a lot smoother. And over here you have some info about each keyframe. So for example, all these keyframes are related to the body's change in position. I can press this little icon to remove all keyframes related to the body's position, which is pretty neat. Okay, now that you've learned the basics, let's put this knowledge to good use by creating the idle animation. I'll drag a marquee over all these keyframes to select them, and then hit the delete key on my keyboard. Now I'll move my white line at about 15 milliseconds on my timeline, and select the body. And I'll now move the body up slightly. Then I'll copy the keyframes at the start of my animation and paste those at 30 milliseconds. This way the animation will loop. You'll see that the character seems to be catching his breath, his chest rising and falling. Since this is a fast-paced dodging game, I think it's good that the character's breathing appears fast, as if he's a bit out of breath after all that running. Okay, I'll now select one of my arms and rotate it up slightly at 15 milliseconds. And again, make sure to copy and paste the first keyframes at the end of the animation so that it loops. And do the same with the other arm. And now I'll grab the head, move it down ever so slightly at around 7 milliseconds, and then move it up at 23 milliseconds. This will create a more natural, less robotic idle animation. You can also add some squishiness to this idle sequence. For example, I'll grab my scale tool, and at 7 milliseconds I'll squash the head just a bit. And then at 23 milliseconds I'll stretch it to create a more cartoony, squishy feel to the character. And there we go, I'm pretty happy with how that looks. Of course, take as much or as little time as you want on your animations. Just remember to deactivate the record button when you're done. And note that the idle animation I made for this small cartoony character might be very different from the animation that best suits your character. For example, if your player is an old man, then something slower and shaky will be better. An easy way to slow down or speed up the animation is by selecting all the keyframes at once by left clicking and dragging a sort of marquee over them, and then left clicking on these blue bars to squash your keyframes together. In other words, speed up the animation, or spread the keyframes apart to slow things down. And what's great here is that you can also just select certain chunks of your animation to speed up, move around, or slow it down. Alright, let's now make the run animation. I'm going to head over here, left click on that, and choose to create a new animation which I'll save right next to the idle one, and I'll call it run. And I'm going to create the first pose. So I'll rotate the legs and arms and get the body pushed slightly forward. And then at say 12 milliseconds, I'll rotate each arm and leg in the opposite direction to create that swinging motion. And of course copy and paste the first keyframes so that the animation loops. To add weight to the animation, I'm now going to select the body and move it down at around 3 milliseconds. And then I'll move it up slightly at about 8. Then I can copy those keyframes and paste them here. And that really makes the animation look and feel a lot better. And again, you can add some squash and stretch to the character if you so choose. And that's it, our character has two cool animations. If I hit play, you'll indeed see that the character plays his idle animation when standing still, and he also plays that when moving left and right. And so our goal in the next video is to get the player transitioning from that idle animation to the run animation when moving. We'll also get him facing the direction in which he's running. Okay, I'll see you then. Cheers.